Okay, let's dive into this. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so pumped you're here because today we're exploring a truly amazing piece of biblical text. We're going to be looking at a very specific part of the Bible, Psalm 68, verses 19 through 35. And let me tell you, this isn't just any ordinary reading. This thing is packed with action, loud music, super strong heroes, and literally a massive celebration. It's all about recognizing just how incredibly powerful God is and how much he absolutely cares for his people. So get comfortable and let's get ready for an incredible journey. But before we even crack open the text itself, I want you to think about something. What is the biggest, absolute, loudest parade you have ever seen? Like, close your eyes for just a second and try to picture it. Maybe it was a Thanksgiving parade with those giant balloons, or a 4th of July parade with massive marching bands, super bright floats, and fire engines just blasting their sirens. Parades are loud, they're joyful, and they're usually celebrating a huge victory or special holiday, right? Well, keep that amazing, loud, happy image right there in your head. Because the biblical text we are looking at today describes a parade that is bigger and louder than anything we could ever even imagine. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, our daily helper. You know, before we can have a giant parade to celebrate a victory, we kind of need to know exactly why we're cheering in the first place. Think about the difference between our heavy burdens and his saving power. Have you ever had to carry a super heavy backpack? You know the kind, loaded down with thick textbooks, a clunky lunchbox, maybe some sports gear? It makes your shoulders ache, right? You just want someone, anyone, to help you carry it. Well, in life, we sometimes have invisible heavy backpacks, things that make us sad, worried, or even a little scared. The biblical text tells us that he is the one who daily bears our burdens. He literally steps in every single day, grabs that heavy backpack off our shoulders, and carries it for us. Actually, the biblical text puts it perfectly. Praise be to the Lord, to God our Savior, who daily bears our burdens. But the text doesn't just stop there. It goes on to say that from him comes escape from death. That means even when things seem as scary as they can possibly get, he is our Savior. He provides a way out. He rescues his people from danger and makes sure they are completely safe. And honestly, that is definitely something worth throwing a parade for. And because he is a God who saves, we are talking about the ultimate victory here. The Bible mentions that he will crush the heads of his enemies. Now, okay, that sounds pretty intense, doesn't it? But what it simply means for us is that he is stronger than any bad guys, any evil, or any danger out there. It doesn't matter if the enemies are coming from the high hills of Bashan or hiding out in the absolute deepest parts of the sea, they cannot defeat him. He wins. And because he wins, his people are kept totally safe and protected under his mighty power. Which brings us perfectly into section 2, the ultimate victory parade. What's really interesting here is how the biblical text completely shifts gears. We've talked about the battles, the heavy lifting, but now the mood changes into a grand celebration. Imagine you're standing on the sidewalk, craning your neck to see down the street. The text says, "Your procession, God, has come into view, the procession of my God and King into the sanctuary." A procession is really just a fancy word for a parade. The author is basically shouting, "Look, here it comes!" You can start to hear the music echoing in the distance. You can see the banners waving in the wind. The victory parade for our God and King is marching right toward us, heading straight into the sanctuary, his holy place. So who gets to be in this amazing parade? Well, the biblical text gives us the exact marching order. Right at the very front are the singers, leading the way and just belting out joyful songs. Next up come the musicians, playing loudly on their instruments. And right alongside them are the young women playing timbrels. Now, a timbrel is basically just a really loud, fun tambourine. Imagine that sound, the singing, the horns blowing, and the bright, happy shake, shake, shake of the tambourines all keeping the beat together. It's a massive, joyful party. And it's not just musicians. The text lists the different tribes of Israel all marching together. Right at the very front is the tribe of Benjamin. The text calls them little, but guess what? They are boldly leading the whole group. Then comes Judah, described as a great throng of princes, just a huge, mighty crowd. And following right behind them are the princes of Zebulun and Naphtali. It brilliantly shows all these different groups, big and small, marching together as one big team, praising him in the great assembly. Moving right along to section 3, Kings and nations bring gifts. You see, this celebration doesn't stop with just the locals. This parade is so incredible that it catches the attention of the entire world. Kings are bringing rich gifts right to his temple in Jerusalem. Envoys, which are basically really important messengers, are traveling all the way from Egypt. The land of Cush is humbly submitting to him. The text shows us that powerful leaders from faraway places are recognizing that his power is way greater than anything they have ever seen before. They aren't coming to fight. They are coming out of pure respect to honor his incredible strength. And honestly, there's a really good reason they're bringing gifts instead of picking a fight. The text asks him to rebuke the beast among the reeds, the herd of bulls. Now, to rebuke means to express sharp disapproval, to stop something bad in its tracks. The text compares nations that just love fighting and war to wild beasts and angry bulls. But he has the power to rebuke them. He can just say stop and scatter those who delight in war. He brings true peace by stopping the fighting, making sure the whole world knows that he is the one in charge. Let's move to section 4 and see how this builds. Power in the heavens. So, we've looked at the parade on the ground, and we've seen kings from all over the world bowing down. But for the grand finale of this text, we have to look up. Way, way up. The author looks around at everything that has happened and shouts a majestic call to action to the entire world. Sing to God, you kingdoms of the earth. This isn't just a parade for one city or one country anymore, guys. It's an invitation to every single person in every kingdom across the whole earth to sing praises to him. And why should the whole earth sing? Because his power is literally off the charts. The biblical text paints this thrilling picture. It says he rides across the highest ancient heavens. Imagine him riding the clouds like a chariot. It says he thunders with a mighty voice. Have you ever heard a crack of thunder so loud it literally rattles your windows? Well, that is just a tiny fraction of his power. His majesty is over Israel, but his raw, incredible power is displayed right up there in the skies for the whole world to see. So bringing it all together, he is awesome in his sanctuary. After reading this incredible text from Psalm 68, we see a God who carries our heavy backpacks, who defeats the bad guys, commands a giant, joyful parade, stops wars, and thunders from the clouds. But you know what the absolute best part is? The very last verse we read says that the same awesome God gives power and strength to his people. He doesn't just hoard his strength to himself, he shares it with you and me to help us every single day. Which leaves us with a pretty massive question to think about as we wrap up our explainer today. If he gives power and strength to his people today, how will you use that strength? Will you use it to be brave when you're feeling scared? Will you use it to help a friend who is carrying a heavy burden? Or will you use it to just sing loudly and joyfully, celebrating the ultimate victory? Really think about that today. Thank you so much for exploring this amazing biblical text with me. Keep learning, keep asking great questions, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.